Welcome to Freeform Radio on the Freeform Network. You can follow us at Facebook at Freeform Network. We're on X at under FFR Podcast. And remember to send your questions and suggestions to ffnquestions@gmail.com. Hook us up there. Links, stuff that you want us to talk about, comments, whatever you guys want to do. It'd be great to get some emails, and we love communicating with our listeners through the email. Again, it's Freeform Radio. We got Danny.
Yes, sir, man. Just came in hot, man. A beautiful day outside. Kind of windy, but nice.
Yeah, it looks nice this morning. And we got Noel.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us for another one.
And it's all good, Andy. We want to thank you guys for joining us this week. Spring's here, and we're ready. We're ready for the nice weather. A lot of rain and wind lately, so typical Midwest. But let's get the things rolling. Let's start with Noel. I see that he watched The Summer of '84. I don't know what this is. It sounds like a documentary, or is it a movie, Noel, or like just a movie, like a horror movie or something?
So, yeah, Summer of '84. It's a horror movie, but it's also like Stranger Things.
Ah,
This came out in 2018. So I think around that time where Stranger Things was like in its height, you know. It's considered psychological thriller, slasher horror, and kind of a whodunit crime drama. And so yeah, it's a group of kids that are trying to prove that there's a serial killer in their town and trying to find who it is. And they think it's, they had one of their neighbors, right, who's a police officer, and they have like reasons to suspect it, right? And so they're kind of doing this like detective mode and trying to find clues to get everybody on board to get this guy, arrested. And so it's pretty good, man. I don't want to spoil it. It's not like any crazy plot twists, but it's just an interesting way of the way it like all unfolds, and the way the kids are, I guess just the way they live, it's like a slice of life kind of thing out of the 80s. So it's like a unique just time period where, kids were a little more free, I guess you could say, a little less sheltered and just more brave and willing to take risks and stuff. And this is like during the time period of, the milk cartons having pictures of missing kids on there. So it's just like a very nostalgic version of Stranger Things that's not supernatural. It's more crime, like Hardy Boys kind of thing, like some crime drama thing. So it's pretty good.
that
Uh,
I laugh because you said the Hardy Boys, and that those characters were based in the '60s. But real quick, Noah, with with the late '80s, '90s, it seems to be like a very in thing right now with the nostalgia on those decades. Um, I'm shocked. Yeah, with Stranger Things and this, and it just seems to be like the in thing right now, making movies around that time period, late '80s, early '90s. How did the movie recently come out, or it came out within the last year or two?
It's actually almost a decade, man. So it's been 8 years since it came
Wow.
out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It came out in 2018, so I'm thinking that's right around the time Stranger Things was at its
Mm,
height, or at least it probably
cashing
started.
in.
Um, Stranger Things 2016. So yeah, a couple of years after it started, I would say at its height. And it's a pretty good movie. It's less than 2 hours. Um, Good, decent reviews on it. It's got like a 6.7 out of 10 for a horror movie. That's pretty good. And again, I would say it's one of those that it's a little more family friendly, but it still has its moments where it's graphic. It is a horror movie. People do get killed. There's a serial killer, and the ending is not a happy-go-lucky ending. So it's one of those that you're gonna take with you. I'll remember this like for years to come. And I bought this on physical media, and it's I forgot the brand that released it or the publisher, but it was one of those movies like a hidden gem. So I came across it like maybe about a year ago, and finally picked it up. And yeah, I think you guys would like it. It's worth watching.
Nice, man. Yeah, those hidden gems. I think Andy's cousin was the guy that used to be able to find movies like that.
He loved going through the bargain bin and finding stuff. But good thing you're still supporting physical media, and that's another thing that's made resurgence in the last year or two, especially with DVDs and VHS. I think is like the in thing again right now. Um, I think people are getting, especially with millennials and Generation Z, because with streaming and all that, it keeps going up in price, and then they're starting to control a lot of the content, and there's a lot of stuff that's still not on streaming too.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of drawbacks to streaming. I mean, the cost of the internet, cost of the subscription, the bandwidth not being that great. They limit how much like bandwidth you get because there's tons of people accessing that same content. They restrict certain things and change certain things from the way it used to be. The special features, you don't have access to it. There's a lot of things that are drawbacks to streaming, dude, and that's why either I get it physically or I find other means of it. But yeah, definitely gonna keep on my physical collection journey. I'm kind of slowing down a little bit because I have a lot of space taken up already at this point. I'm pretty much at max capacity, man. I'm finding different ways. I'm starting to get like bookshelves and putting stuff there. uh, but yeah. So still adding to it. This is definitely one I do not regret getting. I do recommend you guys, check it out when you have a chance. I'm not sure if it's on streaming, but it's worth watching however you can, man. It's a good one. And
Yeah, like there's those movies like that. The only thing that comes, something I've been searching, but I want to watch it on a disc, is called, I don't know, maybe you seen VFW. I heard it's kind of like this horror, supernatural type of thing. You ever heard of that one?
is that the one with the veteran?
Yeah,
Um, I think I've heard of it.
it's
I
just
might have seen it.
zombie-esque. I want to see it. I haven't found it.
That one came out a while back.
Yeah, a while back.
I
Yeah,
think I watched it digitally, but I just don't remember much about the details. But VFW,
I think the Hellboy's in it, if I remember correctly. Oh
Ron
no, or
Perlman?
the guy from Cobra Kai, the
Oh
old
yeah,
sensei, right? Yeah.
it's got Norm También from Cheers.
Yes, and it had like decent reviews.
Yeah, it's got a 6 out of 10. That's pretty good
Hmm.
for horror.
Yeah.
I might have to rewatch this because yeah. So this came out in 2019. And actually, I'm confusing it with a different movie. So this I have not seen this one, but definitely I'm gonna add it to the
Check it
list.
out. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard it's decent, and it's not bad for the budget and everything they had.
Oh yeah, it's got some recognizable actors, dude. Guy from Avatar, the guy from Shawshank Redemption, the guy from
Hmm.
Warriors. Yeah, it's got some good actors in here, man. All right, definitely gonna add that, man.
Good.
Yeah, another thing I watched, horror related, since we're on that topic of horror, Black Christmas, and not the remakes. There's two remakes at this point. One that came out in 2006 around there, and then one that came out like just a year or a couple years ago. But the one that I watched was the OG, the one that started it all, 1974 Black Christmas, directed by Bob Clark, written by Roy Moore. It's got some classic actors in here from way back in the day. Olivia Hussey, who was Juliet in the old school Romeo and Juliet movie, the OG. Margot Kidder from the Superman movies series. John Saxon, who was the father in Freddy Krueger series, Nightmare on Elm Street #1. And it's got a few other recognizable actors. But anyway, this movie, yeah, again, it came out in '74, so it's definitely got that '70s aesthetic to it. and it's also one of those nostalgic movies where it's like a period movie where you look at it and you're just like things are not like this and it'll never be like this again. And I love those kind of movies. It takes me out of where I am now here in this 2026 era and puts me back into that time period where things were just different, man. Life was different. People were more free and social and they connected better. And with all those connections, you get like more impact when it's horror related and people, start dropping like flies. It actually has an impact because you start, there's more dialogue that's natural. And it's not like nowadays, everything's like less interaction, less, I guess, impact.
It's like
And
artificial almost.
yeah, artificial, superficial.
Hmm.
But yeah, these characters, it's a fraternity or sorority, I guess, for females. It's a sorority, and they're having a Christmas party. It's Christmas time, and there's a serial killer that's on the loose. And there are some plot holes, I would say, but most people give it a pass. Some of the reviews I've looked up after I watched it, I was like, how did I don't want to spoil anything, but like, how did they not catch the guy? The main killer, there's moments where any reasonable person that's a police officer would have investigated the one particular area that he was in that was not investigated, and it was kind of like a plot hole for me. But aside from that, like if you put that aside, and it's actually it holds up pretty well. The scenes are pretty not super graphic, but it feels more real. The kills, it felt more real. And the first woman dies like suffocation with like a plastic bag, and it was like straight out of like that Rockstar game, the one where you're like a serial killer and you just kill
Manhunt.
people. Manhunt. It reminded me of that. I was like, damn, that's wild. Like the first kill of the whole movie. So, um, and yeah, a lot of the people in this movie are goners. Um, I don't want to spoil it, but at the same time, it came out in '74. If you haven't seen it, it's like, oh well, man. Like the very end of the movie, there's a scene where there's one survivor, and they put the girl to like her bed, and it's like she survived. They checked her out. The doctors, the police are there. They're like, okay, yeah, she's good. She's just gonna be sedated to just kind of calm down, relax for the night. Uh, they think they arrested the killer, but unfortunately, they did not arrest the killer. And this whole time, he's hidden in an area, and they don't know to search there. They, for whatever reason, they don't search there, and so there's a ritual that the killer does every time he kills somebody. He calls the sorority house, and when they pick up, they answer the phone, and he just starts kind of trolling them, like and being really creepy and weird. Um, I would say Scream probably took some influence from this, and also there's another phone movie where it definitely took influence from this from the '70s. But anyway, that's the ritual. He kills somebody, he calls the house, and it's just he does that every single time he gets a kill. And they always think like they're searching for him, they're trying to figure it out. They finally trace it to the house. That's when the cops go, and they think they catch the killer, and they think the killer's dead, and so they take his body out, whatever. But no, no, he's not dead. He framed somebody to look like it was him. And at the very end of it, the girl that they leave there, they for whatever reason they leave her there, and the cops leave like, all right, yeah, job done, she's safe, time to go investigate with something else. And as the credits are rolling, you hear the phone ring, and so the credits are rolling, and you see the house, and you just hear the phone ring, which essentially means there was another kill,
Right.
but it's not shown, it's off camera. So I thought that was a nice little twist or like nice little way to end the movie. But I still do recommend it despite that spoiler. It came out in the '70s, so at this point, if you haven't seen it, you definitely should see it. 7 out of 10. So that's a really good review there for a horror movie.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I never. The name sounds familiar, but I don't think I've ever seen this or its follow-up remakes.
Yeah, the one that I originally saw was the 2006 version. and it had like a lot of just really hot actresses, dude. And I was like 18. I was like definitely watching that in theaters, and I actually thought it was pretty good. But I had never seen the original, and so in my opinion, I think the original is better. It's just more grounded. The remake, it kind of went into this weird, like different tangent. Like it deviated from the original, so it has similar aspects of the original, but now the guy's dressed up like Santa Claus in the remake, and now he has like this weird upbringing that's like it's kind of gross. Like his family is like inbred or something. It's like it's really weird and just it was different, but it
It's
was
like they
still
modernized
creepy.
it.
I guess if
Make
that's what
them
you want to
inbreds.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just odd, man. But it was still creepy, but not like the OG. The OG I think is better. I recommend that first before you watch the 2006. And then the newest one, I haven't even seen it, man. I heard it was terrible. So, you know.
Jesus, IMDb, the original and perhaps the best slasher film ever made. The girls of sorority house are being tormented by a twisted prank caller. Damn, that's high praises from a
Yeah.
review.
You know, I when did Halloween come out? Because I think that might even be before Halloween, man. So it is like one of those OG slashers, man.
All
I
right.
think people sleep on it a lot.
Yeah, I just saw the cover art and it has the bag on the girl's face. But no, I can't even say I've seen this or even seen the cover art before. Yeah, I totally snoozed on this one.
A lot of people did, man. I did too, and I've seen tons of horror movies. You guys know this, and it was just one of those like, I'll watch it one day. I'll watch it one day, and I don't know why I slept on it, but I finally got it physically, and I watched it, bro. I agree with that statement. It is one of the best slashers of all time. It's like one of the OGs. Highly recommended. And yeah, I don't think you'll be disappointed, man. Slice of that era, the 70s era. So
Nice, nice.
and yeah, so just moving on here. Those are the two horror movies I saw recently. But a video game, switching it up to a video game I played. I finally beat Super Mario 3. Um, I've had it on my what is it? Not bucket list, but like one of those lists that you make, like you got to get through it at some point, for video games specifically. And yeah, it's been years and years that I've been wanting to beat this game fully. I've always made it pretty far, but I never got to the final end. And this time I did. World 8 is the last world, and you're kind of like in this like weird like hellscape environment, and then it was just really cool, dark atmosphere. Every world had its own unique feel, and I finally beat Bowser at the very end of it, saved Princess Peach. I thought it was kind of lackluster in terms of the way they end it. Like they're like in a weird jokey way. Like Princess Peach is like, "Oh, you saved me, but I'm not the real Peach. I'm actually in another castle." And she's like, "Just kidding." And then, all right, that's it. It's just like you beat the game. I was like, "What the heck is this, dude?" I spent hours beating this, and that's what you give me. But I'm like, all right, it's not about that. It's about the whole journey there. So
Yeah, yeah. Super Mario 3 is one of the best ones. It still holds up in my opinion. Every now and then I'll play through it. The only thing that sucks is you have to beat it all in one sitting because it has no saves. So if you want to play it world 1 through 8, it takes a minute for sure. But
Is it
definitely
over
one of the
2 hours,
gems.
the gameplay?
I would
Or
say
be
so.
less than that?
I think with the newer like the minis, the NES or Super NES
Yeah.
minis, I think they have save states, so you can save it. But the OG original format, there's no way of saving it, and I think that's why they had that whistle on there, so you can warp from you know basically level 1 to like 6 or kind of breeze through the game and get to the end. But yeah, it's definitely one of those top games. Really cool game. I like playing it.
But
for
definitely,
sure, man.
it's a Hall of Fame game. I mean, the whole story here, real quick, with S- Super Mario Brothers 2, how they just like put Mario over another game and like that. It's like the whole documentary is about that. And then 3, they really put some effort and the raccoon suit and all that. So yeah, I mean, I have never been it. I've seen the ending now, but yeah, and then I see people like where they caught the speed race to see how fast they could beat it with warping and all that. And someone did it like in under a minute or something. 41 seconds is what pops in my head. So,
Dang,
but
that's
the
wild,
whole total gameplay, if you go each level, like you're talking about, like there's no save. I'm thinking it has to be under 2 hours.
man. Yeah, no, it definitely didn't. I didn't beat it that quick. Yeah, like you said, man, it is a Hall of Fame game. And anyway, that's enough from me, man. Let's move it over to Daniel here. And speaking of Hall of Fame, Hulk Hogan, Hall of Fame wrestler. Looks like there's a Netflix documentary series, or what is this, Daniel?
Yeah, they just announced this last week or a couple days ago. But yeah, Netflix is doing a four-part documentary with Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea. It's called The Real American. And yeah, they're saying that it's the last interview before he passed away. So I don't know how true that is or not, but yeah, they're stating it's the last interview. Yeah, Terry Bollea, it looks pretty good. I mean, the little clips that the trailer shows, it looks like he gets a little raw in it. He kind of says some stuff, things that he regretted. So I got a feeling that it's not just going to be, like a prop him up kind of documentary. I think it's going to go into some of his darker sides, some of the stuff that he messed up in life. And from the documentary, at least from the trailer, it does show that Linda's a part of it. Bret Hart has a little bit in it. Jimmy, Kevin Nash. So yeah, looks pretty exciting. I think it's officially releasing in about a week or two to the public, but right now it's a trailer, and it definitely gets me hype. I like watching stuff like this. I think the last one that was kind of to what this is looking to be was that TMZ one of Hulk Hogan, where it kind of shows a little bit more of the downfall or kind of the black stains to his Hulk Hogan persona. Um, so yeah, this looks very interesting. I know you're a huge fan, Andy. What are your initial thoughts on the trailer?
So yeah, I saw it, and um, yeah, they're promoting it. His final interview. So I don't know if he's gonna be is they say wrestling shooting, like a shooter interview. I probably not. And what I'm nervous about is it's kind of like the Vince McMahon one. It was all like he was all into it, and then they started like twisting it at the end, and he wasn't involved. And then the other thing is what they're calling it, real American. I know he's had that gimmick or whatever, that branding. Uh, the beer people, like a couple weeks ago, like a month ago now, they're like, we're getting rid of Hogan. Um, so I'm wondering if there's some stuff that's going to come out of this so they distance themselves from Hogan a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it looks good, and because I mean, like he was no angel, he had his issues, and the TMZ one was okay. He's been in a couple of documentaries like that. He had one with A&E after Linda's divorce. That one was kind of dark. Um, I think there was another one with E Entertainment, if I remember correctly, where he actually sat down and talked. Um, but though the E one was a little bit was gimmicky, so that's what people like shit on him for embellishing some of the stuff he was saying. But the one A&E was the first time where Hogan was kind of open and talking a lot of personal stuff, the divorce and the drinking and how he found his faith again. But it'd be interesting. Like I said, I was excited about the Vince one, and then they did that turn. So I don't know if this is turning into that, but we'll see. And not like you said, they had Linda, which I was kind of shocked. Then I saw Brett. I'm like, ah, so Brett's just gonna be fucking shitting on him like he always does, because Brett is He's a mark for himself. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I want to see it. I didn't really dig in on who produced it, so that's another thing to tell you where this might go down. If it's the people from Vince, then yeah, it could possibly turn into something where I don't want to say a hit piece, but it's going to be negative.
Yeah, I still disagree with you on the Vince thing. I don't think it was a hit piece. I think they said the truth. I mean, the guy towards the end was a piece of shit. I mean, eh, give him his flowers. He created wrestling. He created it into this multi-million dollar conglomerate where now there's, thriving and some struggling wrestling promotions that are on TV. But same way as Hogan did, he messed up on a few occasions on his life, and it should be said. It shouldn't just be all the flowers and then let's leave the stuff that's kind of dark on the side. I think that's what makes a good documentary is that you present the facts and you let people judge it based on that. Um, but yeah, we'll see how it works out and how it pans out. But super excited. 4 parts, presumably an
Are
hour
you
each.
excited because they might shit on him then? That's how you're looking into it?
No, not the shitting part, but I hope it's a little more true. I mean, I'm a huge Hogan fan, so
Balanced?
to me, I'm a huge Hogan fan. But the man did some stuff that's really shady. So I'm always going to be a fan. So
But
the
that's what I'm
Sox,
saying.
the Sox may lose 100 games, but I'm still going to be a White Sox fan. But if
But they did
Hogan,
lose 100 games a couple of
no,
years ago.
right, that's what I'm saying. So they could lose 100 games, and I'm still going to be a fan.
Well,
Hogan could mess up, and I'm still going to be one of his fans. He's going to be a childhood fan for life. So yeah, I just think he did some wrong stuff, and if they bring it up
I'm
and they
not.
bring
Yeah,
people to talk about it, by all means, he
but
should own it and live with it.
the reason I bring it up is it's not a documentary. If WWE is a part of it, that should be just more wrestling than personal, or
Hmm.
things that he did in the ring. The personal stuff, you might have like some things in there, but that's the way that trailer ends. He's like, I know where the bodies are.
Right.
So I'm thinking like, is they gonna have him shit on Vince or something, or like, what's this about? And then when they put in Bret Hart, I'm like, to me, I think it's gonna be turned into where I don't think they're gonna shit on him on the business, but personally, that's where they're gonna get him. So
I got a
uh,
feeling it is
we'll
going to
see.
be like it is going to be like you feel. I think they're going to show some dirt on him, on the business, and on other wrestlers. Uh, I I feel like that's just going to be a part of it. Because if you just want a wrestling documentary, you could just watch that DVD that WWE released like 15 years ago, where it has all his greatest matches. I mean, if that's what you're looking for, but if you're looking for the real, like they're
I don't want
touting
the
it,
self-destruction of Hulk Hogan type of
like
shit. I don't
yeah,
want
like the Ultimate Warrior. But
that. Where
we'll
this is like, let's put a DVD where I'm shitting on him for an hour.
right. Well, we'll see how it
He held
is.
me up for money, brother.
Um,
No, I get it. Yeah, like I said, absolutely. It should be some personal stuff, but I'm with you. It's just as Bruce said on the Vince one, it's gonna be a hit piece.
so if they come out with something you didn't know, man, are you gonna stop being a Hogan fan or what, man?
Nah, I mean, he's everything that he's done. People don't hesitate to crap on him because guess what? He was popular. He got paid a lot of money, and personally, yeah, I mean, he didn't like you said, man. He messed up. He lied about a lot of things on the business, but personally, he took care of himself, and people hate that. And he took care of a lot of personal other wrestlers that he wanted with him when he went wherever he went. And personally, yeah, the drinking, the thing with his son, his wife. He's been through a lot of shit. The recordings at the prison is just like that shit that he said, and the whole thing with his friend's wife and the recording and all that stuff. Yeah, he just A lot of bad decisions, and he talks about it and other things. He was in a bad place when a lot of that stuff happened. So
Right.
we'll see how it comes out. The whole thing with Vince, that's what I really want to see if they make him talk shit about Vince.
I'm sure they're going to talk about the steroid stuff and whatnot. So pretty excited. Can't wait to see it. Probably talk about it in the next podcast or so. But jumping on to something else really quick here, Andy. Watched last night the Anaconda 2025 movie. Um, I had seen this trailer and I'm like, is this like a spiritual sequel to the movie? I didn't really know what it was about. It looked more like a comedy than, J
That's
Lo
how
and
I looked
Ice
at it.
Cube, right?
Yeah.
Than J Lo and Ice Cube coming out and trying to kick ass. But I didn't really know much about it. I clicked it on Netflix, and you know what? I gotta say it was pretty good, man. Jack Black and even what's that other guy's name?
Ant-Man,
Paul Rudd, yeah, the
Paul
Ant-Man
Rudd.
guy.
Yeah.
They're good actors, man, and they have like a funny rapport going back and forth with each other that it really was pretty funny as a comedy. Now some stuff was kind of
It's hokey.
hokey, yeah, a little hokey, but as for a comedy to what I thought it was and what, like you, Andy, mentioned, it is. It's a spiritual successor to Anaconda. They break like the fourth wall and talk about Ice Cube. They talk about J Lo.
No.
They talk about the actors in the original. What's the other guy? John Voight. They talk
John
about him.
Boyd, yeah.
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 So they talk about them as if they're not actors. So they're not playing Jack Black and Paul Rudd. They're playing upcoming a wannabe director and a wannabe actor that's struggling in the industry, and they want to make the new Anaconda movie. So they talk about the previous
Oh,
actors in the movie.
that's what it's about. They're trying to make a sequel to it.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
That they want to
oh.
get the rights to the movie, and they have this great idea on how to make a sequel. And then it's them in the process of getting financing, getting the camera crew, the actors, the location, the snake, and them going through the motions on creating it. And then shenanigans occur towards the end. There's always something going on, something that doesn't work out right. But a really cool movie, man. I don't want to oversell it. It's nothing great, but it was definitely entertaining. I liked it. My wife enjoyed it. Was something very cool. You're a big movie buff as well, Noel. Did you even see this, or was this even on your radar?
Uh, I heard that it was coming out, and I saw, I think, a trailer for it. But when I see Paul Rudd and I see Jack Black, I think comedy. I don't think like horror. I don't think it's gonna be like how the original was. So it kind of, I just kind of forgot about it. But I might have to add it to the list if it's pretty decent. I might have to add it there.
Yeah, I mean it's got kills and stuff like that with the snake doing its thing, but it doesn't show a lot of gore. I want to say it might even be PG-13 if I recall correctly. So I don't think it shows much of anything in that
It's
aspect.
PG-13. Yes.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
But it did pretty good. I mean, I don't know if Sony sees it as a huge success, but I'm looking at Wikipedia here, 45 million budget, 135 in the box office. So to me, I think that's a pretty good success. Um, the other funny thing that came up in this movie, and I had to pause it and tell Alana about it, is um, it's the character Jack Black's birthday in one of these scenes. And the other guy's just like, you won't believe it, but here, I got you a gift. He gives him like an old CRT TV that has like a built-in VHS tape. And in it is one of their original movies that they did while they were in high school, like this mini, 5 minute, 10-minute movie that they did together. And they just kind of nostalgia pop for it. They're like, "Oh my God, man, I thought we lost this tape." And he's like, "No, it's stuck here in this TV. So here, I decided to give it to you for your birthday." So, anyways, I paused it. And I told Alana, I'm like, me, Andy, and a couple of buddies from high school, we've done a few videotapes with movies like this that we've done. And I'm like, and Andy even did one for his school because he was part of, I forgot what class that was,
Audio visual, yeah.
audio and visual class or whatever the heck it was called. And I'm like, yeah. So Andy at one time wanted to be a director or a writer, and he kind of had that bug, and we made a few movies. And she's like, wow, man, I wonder if we could find those. And I'm like, I don't even know where those are at. They might be in a VHS in a box in my parents' basement somewhere, or maybe Andy's got a copy. I'm like, I have no idea.
I don't have a copy. Yeah, we made a couple movies. The one for school, and then I think we made two for school, if I remember correctly.
Right.
And they recorded one in your basement and the other one at the school.
Yeah, for sure. So it was definitely a cool nostalgia thing. Kind of
Where are
bringing back
those
some
tapes?
memories. Yeah, for sure. Well, I'll have to dig them out, and maybe for your 50th birthday, Andy, I'll find it, and then we'll play it
It'll
for
be a
you.
Patreon thing if we ever create one. You can watch the full movie, with extended deleted scenes,
Director commentary.
director's commentary. There you go.
Very cool, man. But Andy, let's jump on over to your week, man. Let's talk about the moon spaceship, which I don't know, man. I don't know if it's real or not, but fill us in on
Yeah.
your thoughts on it, man.
You're not the only person that thinks that. The art, I mean, pretty much everybody knows it kind of snuck up on you. They really didn't publicize it, and then, or I didn't know, and I'm pretty into all those things about the moon and such. And next thing you know, there's like, oh, we're going back to the moon, and we're doing it April 1st. I'm like, what? It's like, is this an April Fool's thing? And then, yeah, no, they did it, and they did a different trajectory to get them there. It took a little bit longer, and I'm like, so are we landing? So I started looking up. I'm like, no, we're just circling it. I'm like, well, NASA's done that a bunch of times. I'm like, are they using some new technology or something? And no, they just got some rockets. They took a different trajectory. Um, and then they landed, what was it, yesterday or Friday? Friday, right? Yeah. I remember at the gym and I just was seeing the news that, oh, it's going to land any minute. And then,
Landed on Earth.
yeah, landed or splash. They said splash down. I'm like, so what? They're gonna land on the ocean again, like the '60s? I thought last year we saw a rocket land standing up. I thought that's what they were gonna get. So I didn't understand, and I really started looking into it. I'm just like, there's videos of people saying this is fake. They put the astronauts out before they left. That they actually sent them up there, or this is a distraction for the war, the Epstein files. There's a thing about they went up there. The reason they didn't want to land is because they sent them to have uh, some type of meeting or the real people to negotiate if we could land on the moon with aliens and stuff. So there's all sorts of stuff on it, and I'm just like, yeah, I mean, to me, it's like, okay, it was cool, but there's nothing new, and I didn't understand what the mission was. I think they did like a scan or something. They did some like better scanning with better technology, which other countries have done. And then you started seeing images of what they recorded or pictures and like some 4K type of shit, and it's like, oh, okay, it looks cool. But I'm like, what we could have done that from here with
Telescopes.
telescopes and everything like that. So yeah, I mean, I didn't know what was to gain from it other than I think they did it. I don't know what people weren't pulled out, as some people suggest, but I'm always want to say it's like a distraction of like all the shit that's going on right now with, especially with with the gas pricing, gases are a little high. I mean, really high, and then with the war with Iran and all that, or whatever you want to call it, tensions. Um, so like there was nothing new. Like I seen this. It wasn't even a space shuttle or nothing. Like it was just the shit that we did back in the 60s and 70s, right? Like, are they gonna roll out a space shuttle or like what are they doing? And like, nah, they just use their old rockets with the put them on the top, and they're gonna land with the freaking parachutes in the ocean. And then I'm just like, well, this is nothing new. I don't know what the point of all this was. I mean, it was cool. I mean, they went back. You saw the memes like, oh, we're going to the moon. They're like, you're just circling around them when you're not landing. So that's the big thing. If you land, maybe it'll be cool. And I talked to some other people, and they're like, yeah, it's all bullshit. A lot of people think it's bullshit. So that's the whole other thing. And so yeah, I don't know. What did you guys even know about it? I mean, it wasn't like particularly like this breaking news. There wasn't a lot of hype around it.
You know, I didn't hear too much about it.
Yeah,
I think I saw just one video, and it was like I think it was like AI. I don't know. It was like
yeah,
this frog that was like I
yeah.
don't know if you saw it. This frog that like fell from or was like launched up when the space shuttle launched or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This frog got launched up into the air, and it was like flying down. And I just saw a video about that, and it was related to the Artemis stuff, and I was like, I don't believe any of this, dude. This is all AI bullshit.
There's one like at the when the rocket took off. There's like a trolley. Like a did you see that? And it has four things, and they're saying that the people got taken off of the ship before it took off. And it's just like when people are like, "You guys are idiots." If you get off before all that with all that rocket and noise shit, like people would die. Your body wouldn't be able to handle it unless they got some special technology that we don't know about. But that's like the big one. And then a lot of people are saying it's AI generated stuff, and because people then the people when they're in on orbit, they were saying like this looks like green screen and one of the, or AI because a lot of people were saying you know when AI is not that good, you look at their fingers and hands and they're all being goofy. They look different or like weird. So that's why a lot of people were pointing to that too.
Yeah, to me, it looks off. There's just something about it that doesn't look right. I agree with you, Andy. And I brought this up to a coworker of mine because even the first moon landing, I've seen some documentaries that make you question it, that make you think, not have we made it to the moon since then, but did we make that first moon landing? And I question it. I'm not going to believe it 100%. But that aside, for them not to land to me was a big red flag. I'm like, we've landed a few times already. Why are we just circling? It's like,
Yeah.
so I asked this coworker, and he's just like, well, it's a new technology, it's a new missile, it's a this and the other, and I'm like, okay, I could kind of hear that a little bit. I'm like, but let's say I'm Panasonic, and I'm like, you know what? I want to make a car. I don't have to invent how a combustible engine works. All I have to do is try to bring together my own parts to do a car because a car exists, the technology exists. So if the tech exists to land on the moon already, why are they just circling? Because they don't know how they're going to land yet. They're still working out all the kinks. So I don't believe that. I find it kind of odd. And when I saw that splash thing, Andy, I'm glad you brought that up. I thought, again, it was another red flag. I'm like, I thought the whole point of sending this new rocket was because this thing is going to come back and stand up and be like, boom, I'm ready
Yeah.
for my next mission. And you didn't see that. You just saw the splashdown. And I'm like, well, this is odd. I'm like, where the hell's the rocket? Did it even come back? Did it crash? Is it in space and we lost it now? I'm like, this is really odd. I'm like, I don't know what is going on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when they take lift off, the things fall down and then they go
Right.
back and then they pick them up. And like to me, like electronically, there might be still new things, but the technology you saw to get them there, it's all shit that we've done before. They might have faster computers, more. AI, whatever you want to call it. I'm not debating that they don't. They use the shit from the 60s. They got newer stuff to identify more problems. But yeah, the splashdown and like the rocket, and then I'm like, this is the same shit they were doing 50 whatever in the 70s and 60s. Like it's ridiculous, dude. Like, and I'm just like, what the fuck did we do? The only thing that was different, instead of three, there was four people, right? And then oh, the other thing was, oh, the shitters don't work, right? Oh, the shitters don't work. I'm like, that okay. Like that, I think they did that to get generate some buzz. Oh, what are they gonna do? Huh? They're gonna go to the bathroom, but and then it took longer. I think they've been most time people been on a ship or something, whatever the hell they were 10 plus days or 9 plus days, and I'm just like I don't know, dude. Like it to me, I didn't. Not that it's no value. It's pretty cool that we can do it. It's just like to me, and then we're in a time where people are complaining about money, the federal budget and all this stuff. I just like, well, what's the game plan here? Because I remember Bush second talking about we're gonna go to Mars, and that was a long time ago, man. It's 20 plus years ago. And we can go from there.
Yeah, for sure. The money thing, I don't know if it's because it's a private thing because this is somebody's spatial. It's not NASA. So I don't know how the money thing works out. Is it the US government paying for this? Is it a partnership where we pay, a
I
percentage
think
and
it's a partnership.
right? So we're just paying a percentage. But yeah, there's a lot of weird things about this space shuttle. I'm sure it's real. I'm guessing it's real, but it's just really odd.
Yeah, no, man. It's to me, it caught my eye. It came out of nowhere, and I don't understand. When I started really looking into it, I'm like, there's nothing new here. Like, what are they trying to do? And then like, well, it's gonna be a thing to go to Mars, and I'm like, well, this shit was said 20 plus years ago. So
Right.
I don't like we've already known this. Like hell, they bombed the fucking moon. They could do all this shit that they found water and like. So what are we? What, they just taking better scans with a 4K camera here? So any thoughts, Noel, before we go to the next thing?
I mean, we've talked about like the moon stuff before. It just always seemed fake, man. And based on stuff that I heard about Stanley Kubrick and the stuff that they filmed, supposedly, I'll just never believe it. I don't think we have the ability to go there and do what they say that we can do, especially the Katy Perry thing recently. The was it like a
Yeah,
year or
that
two
was
ago?
fake as fuck.
I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, like you can't pull the wool over my eyes that many
Hey,
times, dude. Like, I learn eventually.
What was the Katy Perry thing?
it's four female astronauts that. I mean, they weren't like in orbit. They went up and they were in
Oh,
space and they came back down.
yeah,
And then
yes,
the
yes.
door just opened. They landed on land or something, right? And they just opened the door and got out like nothing. And we're here fucking putting people in the middle of the ocean being picked up, in parachutes. Because I'm damn like this shit doesn't make sense at all. I just and then people are like just shitting on all those female astronauts. But let's transition here. Let's go to our article of the week. So I got this week's article. AI is the thing right now. It's trending. I got this article where it says exclusive AI generated singer, not a real person. Eddie Dalton hit number one on iTunes with two more hits in the top 10. Um, so I don't know who Eddie Dalton was, but he's not a real person. He was AI generated. He's a silky voiced R&B singer who sounds like Otis Redding with an almagram of Blue Stars BB King. He has three hits on the iTunes top 10. One of them is number one, and his videos have 1 million views. They believe he may be related to AI country singer Dallas Little, all suspected of being AI, including Cody Kochburn and Kate Winslow. All of this computer generated material comes from a company called Krusty Tunes. Crusty Tunes describes themselves as we believe technology is a tool for creative expansion, not something to be resisted. We embrace emerging platforms and production methods to help artists move faster. Um, so, what does this all mean for actual musicians? Um, AI music for the last couple years, but Eddie is the first number one. He also has 230 followers on Facebook. Um, so this is the thing. I mean, how long before AI starts making content? It's cheaper to make for a lot of companies. They have more control. I didn't know who this guy was, but he got some hits on iTunes. It's not like super mass produced or more uh, more people have know who he is, but I think this is a trend. This is the beginning of AI, and AI videos are popping up on social media. I mean, how long before we get like a full-blown movie that they create with that technology? I mean, exciting from like animated movies. This is where all this is going. AI is coming for everybody. But would you guys listen to AI musicians or AI generated movies, or it was you'd be like, man, they're taking our jobs here, like fucking Skynet, and like, is this just like the beginning of the end, like we've talked about in the past?
Yeah, and the before we jump into that, I just Googled the top 10 and it gave me a top 100 for iTunes. So right now he's number 5 as of today. Another Day Old is number 5. Number 10, he's got also a song, Somewhere Along the Way. Number 24, he's got another song, Stay a Little Longer. Number 48, Running to You. And then number 69,
Yeah.
Dreaming of You. So right there, he's got 5 hits in the top 100. And it's an AI generated. Um, I don't know if
Big
I would
voice.
listen.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would listen to an artist that I was aware was AI, an AI character, but I listened to the 3 songs that were posted in the article, and I gotta say, it sounded pretty good, man. I dug the songs. Kind of had like a country feel. It kind of sounded a little bit like his voice. I know they said Otis Redding, but to me, he sounded more like that big guy, Jelly Roll, or the country singer, the guy that's in wrestling
Yeah.
right now.
Hmm.
It kind of sounded a little like him. But the song sounded okay. It didn't sound bad. The lyrics sounded pretty good. The music track sounded cool. So I dug it. If I didn't know if it was AI, I might have became a fan and maybe like started following that artist. But yeah, I it fooled me. I couldn't tell that it was fake in any way other than the article telling me that.
It,
Yeah. I
it's getting
mean,
that point, man. It's kind
yeah.
of scary.
Do you guys think if like if you were to see it and then you'd be like, oh, this is cool. Do you think there should be stuff or warnings or something and like this is AI created content? You think we're gonna ever gonna get that? Because I mean, as I get older, it's getting harder and harder. And like I'm assuming people like uh my mom and like older people like that are your guys' parents, like would they even know like, oh, this is good, like this is I don't want to say fake, right? But it's just like it's not a person, this is computer generated stuff. Like I don't know if they would care, but it's they put a face, they create a person, like they you it gets personalized, and that's the thing, right? And then if it can, it's not just like a one hit. They just crank them out, and yeah, I mean it's hard. And then that's why you hear all this crazy remixes and like Elvis singing like Tupac songs and all this weird shit, and like Gene Autry singing fucking like Jelly Roll song. Like it's fucking weird what they can do with some of this stuff.
It's gonna get to the point, man, where you're gonna be able to kind of take control and see the stuff that you wish you could have seen in real life but couldn't see. Like, let's say you wanted to see Hulk Hogan fight Stone Cold Steve Austin, which they never did. You could just do some AI thing, and
Yeah,
then all of a
that's
sudden,
common.
it's
Yeah.
all, and it's up to you. Like, so I do think there should be, and I'm not really big on censorship, but I think there should be some kind of regulation going on. Just like there's the MPAA, like you get an R-rated film, PG-13, whatever. There's some advisement to the people that are going to watch this content, like what are you in for. So there should be something, maybe a watermark on the top, or somewhere in the thing says AI, and then, so like what you're getting into.
Yeah, I'm curious if we're gonna start seeing like in the back of the DVD box that, just like there's running time, is there gonna be like percentage of AI generated content so that you can know because every movie has some kind of AI or CGI where it's like fake. I was actually gonna watch a movie yesterday that's by Netflix. I forget the name of the title, but it's got the guy from Son of Anarchy. Um, I forget what the hell the
Jax.
character Jax. Yeah, it's got him in it. But from the trailer, I'm like, I bet you this thing was done on a green screen and nothing was practical. Everything was just green screened. But I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know if it's good or not. But in any case, that movie should it have some kind of identifying mark that identifies that this is by AI? And are you going to start gravitating to movies that have less AI and the more old school Star Wars, where it's more practical because there's on stage sets and stuff like that? So I don't know how the future is going to be. To me personally, the CG doesn't bother me. I don't mind movies that have that, but when it has a practical feel and it looks real, like to the touch, I do prefer those as well.
Well, it's two things that popped. You brought up Star Wars. When they first, Star Wars is a perfect example of uh, George Lucas wanting to go back and fix the original movie, the original trilogy that he released, right? And when CGI and the computer stuff started getting a lot easier and cheaper to make, he kept tweaking the movie, and then they would re-release them in the theaters. And I remember watching uh, Simpsons or South Park, and there was a joke in one of the episodes is like, "Oh, this movie's being released with 10% more new footage," right? And it was like CGI. And ever since that, I'm like, okay, he's just making it how he wanted it. He added a little extended scenes, but then it got out of control. I mean, and Star Wars is like the example. And to this day, people want the original trilogy released on like a Blu-ray remastered and Blu-ray 1080p HD or 4K now. But he's like, I'm never gonna do that because to me those movies were never done. But that's what made a lot of people fall in love with Star Wars. And he went on to tweak a bunch of other stuff. Um, so that is the big issue here. And the other one is when you deal with some of this stuff with the AI, or like Noel's talking about the movie, the like if you want to watch this, like Stone Cold versus Hogan, they already did some shit stuff like that. But it's gonna come down to the estates of some of these actors and wrestlers or whatever you want to do, and how they're gonna get paid because a lot of people don't want to pay them, and it's gonna be that's the other big issue is compensation on some of this stuff. That's why it's not as crazy as it was. And it's just this is the beginning of the Hollywood's changing, it's transforming into something where that's why you see all this consolidation between Warner Brothers and Paramount and Fox being swallowed by Disney because you don't need all these people because this is AI is making it a lot easier to create stuff, and it's going to affect the entertainment companies. We're already seeing that, and it's just who's going to control all this shit, right? And then how are you going to get paid? It's just like when WWE created the network, the wrestlers would get residual checks for whatever DVD, VHS tape, stuff like that. And then they kind of got away when they created the network from releasing DVDs or documentaries, and a lot of the workers stopped getting those checks from the sales of VHS and DVDs when they were booming. That was like a cash cow, and it wasn't. And to this day, they got rid of the network, and they're just uh, third partying it out, getting big money up front. But to me, I'm assuming that they gave up on that fight. Who's getting paid for what, you know? And because everything went digital, and now it's like we don't even need you to create what the hell we want. So, and like, how are they going to get paid for that? And you know, it's a problem. Remember when we saw the hologram Tupac and Michael Jackson things? I was like, damn, this is going to be crazy when they're going to have these dead artists touring the country and like just performing their hits and trying to make it look like they're really there. I mean, it didn't really take off, but I mean, I think that's going to be coming where they're going to resurrect. Like we kind of saw that with Star Wars when they brought in old actors that died and they put them in the movies. And I'm just like, I would tell my wife, you know, that guy's, you think he looks real? Yeah, it looks real to me. That guy's been dead for like 20 years. And they got him speaking lines and stuff. It was like insane.
Yeah, well,
So
James Earl Jones sold his voice likeness to Star Wars, so they own it for them to use in whatever methods. And he did it before he passed. So Star Wars owns his voice and maybe even his likeness. I can't remember, but I remember reading that a few years ago. But yeah, it's going to get crazy, I think, in the future.
yeah, absolutely, man. So yeah, it's a something to think about. I mean, my final thought on it, like you said, it sounds cool right now because it's still new and cool. And it allows people to be creative, but I think it's gonna have a big impact. Maybe 10 years from now, it's gonna be something different. And uh, to me, it's like it's taking away jobs from people, and it's limiting how it's going to limit creativity because you got this super AI thing making stuff and you just tweak it from whoever owns it how they want.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I liked it. I thought the song sounded good. I guess before we close it out, Andy, did you like it? The little bits that you sampled?
Yeah, I mean, it sounded good. I'm not gonna lie. I was like with you, but I didn't want to like it, and uh, it is what
Prejudiced,
it is.
man. Oh, Andy,
Yeah,
man.
man. Like I said, like they
Shit.
took our jobs, man.
Are you against the clankers? You're against the
So,
robots, man. You're gonna be a robot prejudice, man.
dude, I saw this clip real quick before we wrap it up, where this people hire robots to clean their houses and shit.
Mm.
And this lady,
Like the Zumbas
uh,
or
no, like a
the.
freaking human android type of
Oh,
thing,
okay,
like a data, right?
right,
And they clean up and they do what you tell you. And this one robot was like a female, and she was good looking, and the wife
nice.
and the husband were having issues, and the robot went and talked to the wife, and she's like, "Oh yeah, Mr. So and so is really stressed out, and like basically saying you should have more relations with him, or if you need to pleasure him some more, and then if you can't do it, I can help." And the you can see the wife's eyes like, "What?" Like, oh, she's like, go to your garage and shut down or something." And the robot was like, "I don't know why she's getting upset. I'm just trying to help her." Like she was trying to process where this hostility was come from. She couldn't comprehend.
Right.
And it was just a clip, right? I'm just thinking like, damn, and like this is like fucked up because this could probably happen, you know?
For sure.
It's pretty scary, man. And yeah, in the creative space, it's gonna be really tough for people to get jobs now. People that are just graduating from college, studying for all these art degrees, they're in for a rude awakening, man, with the stuff that's coming up. But maybe there will be some regulation, and if anything, you could see it still kind of work for some people that don't have like the means of a big budget production, so they could use AI to bring their story to life without having to get all the permits and get all the locations and whatnot. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting the next couple of years.
So Noel, man, I guess before we wrap it, did you like the songs? Did you listen to them?
I've listened to a bunch of different AI music, and yeah, man, they're they're shockingly pretty good, man.
Yeah.
And like Andy, it's like I don't want to like it, but I can't help but like it. It's like the music is just pleasing to hear. So yeah, it's tough,
Yeah,
man.
the algorithm is working, man.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
exactly.
Well, we hope everybody's liking our podcast, but that's about it for today. We'd like to thank you all for listening. Remember to follow Freeform Network on Facebook and X. Send in those questions and suggestions. Like Andy said, he loves reading them for some reason. Send them in, ffnquestions@gmail.com. Visit our webpage, freeformnetwork.podbean.com. There you're going to see all of our episodes, everything from the start to today, on a bunch of different podcast providers. Hit like and subscribe in whatever you're listening to. We really appreciate it. For Freeform Radio, we got Noel.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us for another one. We appreciate you, and have a good rest of your week.
We got Andy.
Doug and Andy, I want to thank you guys for listening. And real quick on Anaconda, I did watch that, and I did watch it when it came out on VHS. I remember renting that movie because my mom wanted to watch it. And
The OG?
The OG, and yeah, we're talking about CGI. It's the Anaconda CGI was pretty rough back in the day. Now that we're looking at it now, yeah.
Yeah. Check out the new one. Anaconda, the snake looks pretty cool. But yes, I'd like to thank you all for listening, and we will catch you on the next one.
That was cool, Dad.